A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. Presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa says reality of war victory claims revealed. No room to divide the SLFP. Former MP Sri Ranga and 5 other suspects to be arrested. Measures taken to remove salary anomalies of teachers and principals. Erdogan rejects US ceasefire call. In our lead story, presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa says it is ironical that Gotabaya Rajapaksa himself is divulging reality of the war victory. Presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa pointed out that Gotabaya Rajapaksa created a fake identity by claiming the credit for war victory for the Rajapaksa family in the past, but he had to reveal the reality recently. Sajid Premadasa made these comments at a public rally held at the Durangaslanda grounds today. He noted that the true leader of the war was none other than former army commander Sarath Fonseca. Presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa took part in a series of public rallies in Hiriyala, Varyappula, Nikavaratia and Mahavar today. The meetings were attended by ministers J.C. Aluvathwala and Nalin Bandara as well. Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa says he is determined to govern the country honouring expectations of national organisations. Gotabaya Rajapaksa was speaking at a function held at the Foundation Institute in Colombo. The event was organised by the National Organisations Federation under the theme of a secured motherland, a state protecting heritage. The ceremony was conducted under the aegis of Anunayaka of the 3 Buddhist chapters. The National Organisations Federation decided to support the presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa without any condition. Addressing the gathering, Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that he is ready to redeem hopes being pinned on him. He highlighted that when assuming duties as the Defence Secretary of the country, he had a lot of confidence on trouncing terrorism and he made it a reality. In more news at home, media spokesman of the SLFP parliamentarian Veerakumara Dissanayake says no one will be allowed to split the SLFP. Veerakumara Dissanayake made the comment addressing a media briefing held at the SLFP headquarters today. He pointed out that information has been revealed on some conspiracies linked with certain subversive elements. Veerakumara Dissanayake stated the Sri Lanka Freedom Party decided to support Gotabaya Rajapaksa considering the future of the country. He also stressed that presidential candidate Gotabaya can only win the contest with the support of SLFPers. He stated that the SLPP should launch a campaign to identify the subversive elements who want to sabotage public meetings. A group of SLFP politicians have decided to support presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa in the upcoming presidential election. This was revealed by organizer of the SLFP in Birwala, M. Amjad. He was speaking at a media briefing held in Colombo today. M. Amjad further stated that they decided to support Sajid Premadasa in the upcoming election with the view of strengthening country's reconciliation process. He highlighted that around 30 politicians attached with the SLFP are ready to extend their support for presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa in the forthcoming presidential election. He pointed out that they will not leave the SLFP, instead they will remain in the party and back Sajid Premadasa. Addressing the media briefing, former Minister Imtiaz Bakir stated that M. Amjad and group have decided to support presidential candidate Premadasa voluntarily. According to the former minister, social democratic policies of Sajid Premadasa are complying with the SLFP's core values as the rival candidate tends to fascist approach. Imtiaz Bakir also thanked for taking the decision to support Sajid Premadasa as it paves way for democracy. In more news at home, Chairman of the Election Commission Mahinda Deshapriya says the army commander should make a statement over the newspaper advertisement published by presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, publishing campaign content, has quoted incumbent Army Commander Shavendra Silva. The statement, which was published in a weekend newspaper last week, earned controversy. A complaint was also lodged with the Election Commission regarding the statement of Army Commander Shavendra Silva. Journalists who were present at the press conference that was held at the Elections Commission today questioned about the said statement. Chairman of the Elections Commission also spoke about the media practice during the presidential election. In more local news, 78,403 postal voting applications have been rejected. The Elections Commission states that though the applications have been turned down, the voters can cast their votes in the upcoming presidential election under the usual way. 717,918 government employees have applied for the postal voting facility. The Elections Commission says only 639,515 applications were accepted for the postal voting category. Casting of postal votes for members of Triforces and employees of the government establishments will take place in between the 31st of this month and the 1st of next month. The employees of the district secretariats, elections offices and police stations will be able to cast their vote on the 4th of next month. The voters who will be unable to cast their vote on the designated dates can entertain their franchise on the 7th of next month at the district elections offices. Meanwhile, official ballot papers of the presidential election will be handed over to the Postal Department on the 25th of this month. The 3rd of next month has been earmarked as a special day to distribute the ballot papers. The Elections Commission announces that distribution of ballot papers will be concluded by the 9th of next month. The Attorney General today advised the police to arrest former parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga and 5 others and produced before the court.
The Attorney General has given the advice in connection with the fatal road accident took place in Vanya in 2011. The Attorney General has said that J. Sri Ranga and other suspects are accused of causing death to a commuter due to negligence. 4 police officers will also be produced before the court for placing false witnesses. Meanwhile, 4-year-old daughter of leader of National Tawheed Jamaat, Mohammad Sahran, has been handed over to parents of the Sahran's wife. The Criminal Investigations Department educated 4th Magistrates Court about the development. Ahmadu Arshad, who propagated some information pertaining to Easter Sunday attacks, were ordered to be remanded till the 30th of this month. The order was given when the suspect was produced before the 4th Magistrates Court. Meanwhile, the Criminal Investigations Department today informed the court that remains of Ibrahim Ilham Ahmed, the suicide attacker of Cinnamon Grand Hotel, have not been buried yet, though a court order has already been issued. Father of Ibrahim Ilham, Ibrahim Insam, and father-in-law KP Aladdin have identified the remains of the suicide attacker.
The Cabinet has decided to remove the salary anomalies of teachers and school principals. President Maithripala Sirisena paid his last respects to late mother of Anuradha Surya Rachi, secretary to Maitri Mitro organization. President Maithripala Sirisena paid his last respects at the residence of a late Malika Surya Rachi at Menuangoda. The president also expressed his condolences to Anuradha Surya Rachi and his family members. In more local news, police request the public not to be deceived by false propaganda. The police headquarters emphasized that the propaganda carried out regarding a suspicious vehicle in the Mattakulia area is fake. The Mattakulia police have received information that there was a suspicious vehicle in the vicinity of a Christian church and a school nearby. Upon inspection, it was revealed that the owner of the luxury car had left the place due to a technical fault last night. Students and parents were upset when they arrived at the school this morning. The police say that although the owner of the vehicle had arrived at the scene, various rumors have spread about it. Taking a look at more local news, the book titled International Entertainment Law and New Media Law, authored by attorney at law Chanakya Jayadeva, was launched in Colombo. The keynote address of the book launch was delivered by Judge of the Supreme Court Prasanna Jayawardena. In his speech, Judge Jayawardena highlighted that the book covers a complete range of issues pertaining to entertainment law and new media law. Addressing the gathering, author Jayadeva stated that a set of laws encompassing country's entertainment and new media sectors should be formulated in the near future to address range of issues. Several intellectuals in media sector and law also spoke in the event. Now in the weather update, the Met Department announces that the possibility for afternoon thunder showers is high over most parts of the island. Showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island, particularly after 2 p.m. Showers will occur in eastern and southern provinces during the morning too. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 to 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and northern provinces and in Anuradhapura district. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in Sabaragamuwa, central, Uva and north central provinces during the morning. General public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the sea areas around the island. Heavy showers can be expected at some places in the sea area extending from Galle to Batikalo via Hambantota. Temporarily strong gusty winds and very rough seas can be expected during thunder showers. The Cabinet has decided to remove the salary anomalies of teachers and school principals. Previously, Cabinet approval had been given to make teacher service and principal service a reserved service and formulate a suitable salary structure. As the measure will take time, the Cabinet had granted approval to implement an interim proposal recommended by the Special Commission on Salary Review of the Public Sector. The government will take measures to publish information on public sector employment and training opportunities through Smart Sri Lanka initiative. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers decided to announce all the opportunities being published in the Government Gazette through Smart Sri Lanka project. The Cabinet approval was also given to submit the Auditor General's report to the Parliament, which was audited and prepared by the Auditor General. The Tax Appeals Commission Act will be amended to increase the number of members appointed to the Tax Appeals Commission and increase its allocations. The Cabinet approval was also given to amend the Stamp Duty Special Provisions Act and the Provincial Council Stamp Transfer Act to regulate that the amount of stamp duty credited to the Commissioner General of Inland Revenue is paid in excess or in error. The Cabinet of Ministers decided to present the draft of Betting and Gambling Tax Amendment Bill in Parliament, which increases the annual fee for gambling businesses. The Wildlife Trust will be shut down. The reason for the measure is not doing any activity related to the protection of the environment and wildlife by the said trust. Upon its closure, all its assets and liabilities are transferred to the Department of Wildlife Conservation. Cabinet approval was granted to pay compensation and gratuity to the employees who are willing to quit and other to assign to the Department of Wildlife Conservation. Since there are no rivers in the Jaffna Peninsula, a new project has been planned titled A River for Jaffna. Measures will be taken to reduce salinity of the wells bordering the Vadamarachi Lagoon under the initiative. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena. A new chapter in Sri Lanka's private sector development, incorporation of a new company in Sri Lanka is now possible from the comfort of one's own home. Meanwhile, the Department of Registrar of Companies too has reported an increase in revenues. The regulations were made with the concurrence of the President under Section 36 of the Public Contracts Act No. 3 of 1987 and the regulations published in the Gazette Extraordinary No. 508 upon 7 of 2nd of June 1988, last amended by the Gazette Extraordinary No. 1773 upon 36 of 30th August 2012, further amended and published in the Gazette Extraordinary No. 2055 upon 18 on the 24th of January 2018. Accordingly, fees payable but excluded on 4 types of contracts have been amended. And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.